Hello, you are warmly welcome once again to another edition of the SANKOFA Shift, retrieving the past to build the future. The comments are forthcoming, and we are very much grateful for that. At least it shows that the narrative is gradually sinking. And this is only an icing on the cake. The package ahead of us is unprecedented. So don't miss any edition or episode of the SANKOFA Shift. We challenge ourselves that we can shift from the past and look at the things that was done out of ignorance or even negligence, put in corrective measures, and then transform the future. That is all about the SANKOFA Shift. So far, we've been giving a number of evidence to confirm the argument that Ghana is a state but yet to be a nation. And we've given several. Now, what is the verdict that we pick from all these evidence? Possibly, maybe, let me tease our minds with these one or two details. Then we wrap this introductory session up with a verdict. Then we start our histories one after the other. Let's take corruption. I think last week I was on the subject of corruption. Corruption is corruption if the person in charge or surcharged does not happen to be part of us. In other words, as long as this person you are charging for corruption belongs to us, and as a work political party, and as a free tribe back, then what the person has done, it is not corruption. Say enye yehu nipa dia, then what the person has done a corruption. Munchinin to more with this iko, now so yehu nipa dia, then what he has done is not corruption. This is the country we are building for ourselves. So when MPP is in power, the opposition will be crying out that there is corruption. They are chopping the money. They are squandering the money. Just like it happened. Today we are asking, where is oral? Operation Retrieve All Loot. It was just sloganeering. This is terrible. And I believe it is time for our leaders. We must send a signal to our politicians that you cannot insult our intelligence. Look at this LGBTQ narrative and many, many other things. These were all slogans. Today, there is a different posture. The intensity and how vociferous that people were to push that agenda. But now in power, they have become calm, they have become placid, they have become inconspicuous. And today, they are riding away from these questions. Our politicians are able to take us for a ride because our loyalty is not to the entity called Ghana. Our loyalty, unfortunately, is to our political party. Into umbetimi say, oh, yeah, they hear a t-shirt. How will it be a narrative that in the multiplicity of chaos, in the abundance of issues, social, cultural, economic, political challenges that is befitting our nation, that we can say that all what our people need is a t-shirt. Give them a t-shirt and then they will be on the bandwagon to go and vote. All what the people need are slogans. That is why our politicians have mastered the art of sloganeering. 24-hour economy. Then we will join in the narrative because you're the best. Or bow, or yo, one yo, and the Diana said, sapur. Oh, I mean, Ghana Beyond Aid. Oh, free SHS. These things, may we be helped of the Lord. Beloved, it is because we have a state, but we don't have a nation. By nation, I mean there is nothing binding us together as one single entity. One nation, one people, one language. Not a dialect, but one language. The language here is that we are speaking the same language. And that is what we must constitute. Growing up, I was hearing things like Vision 2020, which was drafted in 1995 by the late President Rawlings and then the team at that time. And the projection was that from 1995 by 2020, Ghana would have hit certain levels of economic stability, and that her people and her citizens will be living at a particular level of economic abundance. In 2020, we have not seen that. Our expertise is in crafting committees. No more num tea, committee or more num tea. Every esika eguso. And kobebia. All what they do is to bring recommendations and reports and recommendations. And then it will just be gathering dust, wasting lots of money, taxpayers' money. The day you know your chief, the day we realize that the foundation or the glory of our nation rests on us, everything is going to change. It is not just about the leadership. In a democratic setting, it is much more even of the citizenry, because a country's leadership is nothing but a reflection of her values, of her virtues, of her maxims, of her dictums, of her culture, of her people's predisposition. Because Saturn and Jupiter and they grew from amongst us. Or he has a touch of our culture. So whatever we point fingers at our leaders in terms of corruption, the only thing is that theirs may be in millions of dollars and ours may be 1 cedi, 2 cedis, 10 cedis. Uko ejumemu hwa na ukotam A4 sheet no ebefia. In the name of one, so they go print or personal thing, corruption, no, yours may not be constituting about $1 million, but the same template, no, it means, Ochinebi no one so unya ejumemu ho anase position bi ho kwa. Just like we're stealing from the office and bringing it to your house, in the same vein, with bigger opportunity, you will do worse. So for some of us, we disagree with the narrative that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. We don't agree. Power does not corrupt. It is not the fact that Onya Krono was not corrupt. Onya power and obey corrupt. No. Power does not corrupt. Power exposes that which is in you. So you were already corrupt, but the situational circumstances to bring out the opportunities of your corruption were not there. And until by power, now, because you are in position, you are at a place that has opportunities, and then you become corrupt. Power that does not corrupt. It exposes the corrupt. Absolute power does not corrupt absolutely. It rather grants several cocktail of opportunities to expose the absolute corruption locked up in the person. That is the substance we have been talking about all this while. Take politics as we try to wrap things up. Take politics. Have you realized that many people who have passion to help our nation don't find themselves in politics? Why? Because we have built a kind of political ecosystem that our political parties have what they call their communicators, that they have trained them in propaganda to push all kinds of spurious falsehood and lies just to confuse the minds of the people. And in Tisebio say wako school, why you will juma na wa bobra ko drum pempensuobi. Now you are dreaming say I want to serve my nation, I want to serve my country as this, as a president, as an MP. Any idea now chuti into politics. Bebia ye see unana kanswa unana yebetwiaba. And we are going to insult you, politics of insults. We are going to lie against you. We are going to denigrate you. We are going to render you shambolic. Ye bedi diwa tamama urebefu mamega name kra. Ti yeni nyina esan se amanfo aso eye shintino. People will say that their politics, I will not go there because I don't want to have an issue. All what we have shared shows one thing, and the verdict is that we are not a failed project, but we are an unfinished project. The state provides the container, but the people within is the substance of the nation. This is what the conclusion of the matter is about. That the state provides the container, the people within, and what they do is the substance, and that is what we call a nation. And before we came together as an entity called Ghana, I hope you know from basic social studies that we had the Gold Coast colony, which was the Fanti land, and then the Ga land, the people on the shore. And then we have the Asante colony, and then we have that the Asante Confederacy, and then we have the Western Togoland, and then also we had the Northern Protectorate. So these 4 blocks and the Babomu form the state called Ghana. And at the point of independence, we were not one people. We were all blacks there. Now, so now ya drink any akoma, any idea back also say, ye pese ye chichiri ye mind, so that it will work. That is why it is easy to bring about coup. Look at various African countries, and we'll be looking at them, and you realize that coup was easy. The CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency of US and other places, they were able to plan coup plotters because the people within were not following or were not having a heart for the nation. Their commitment was to their tribe. Their commitment was to their religion. Their commitment was to their political party. Today, that is what is going on. Obi oppositioner, the empire and say the current government should mess up so that we too will come and chop the money. We cannot continue business as usual. We cannot continue business as usual. Look at what the Belgians did to Patrice Lumumba. Young, vibrant, powerful young man, prime minister in Congo. Oshe footages na utimu se onwani nkrofo bonasum papa nasum kunu. They killed him brutally, placed his body in the acid. Why? Because his own people. Look at what they did to Gaddafi. Did you see a white man shooting Gaddafi? It is his own people. And in today the year can say, until we build the nation, until we bring the nation together gracefully, whatever happens on the external will not go anywhere. Our greatest issue as a people, therefore, is to build a strong nation. We have a state, but we need a strong nation. So efforts have been made from religious programs and other things, but I believe that it is time for us to call the shots. Next week, we will be wrapping up this first series, which is the state-nation gap. And then afterwards, the floor will be opened to start the historical analysis from pre-colonial times. And you cannot afford to miss any episode of it. We are still on course. We are building a movement. We are building a fire. We are building a brand. And this is my brother and friend, Joshua Oponsafo. We will see you next week, the same time, Monday, 7 p.m. on the SANKOFA Shift. God bless you. Oman for